The heat exchanger has heat transfer coefficient 1000 watt per meter square Kelvin on a site whose surface area is 100 meter square. Calculate the outer temperature of a hot fluid and cold fluid for a co-current and the counter-current flow. If the conditions are given, the data is mentioned here. A hot fluid inlet temperature is 500 Kelvin. Cold fluid inlet temperature is 310 Kelvin. Mass flow rate of the hot fluid is 5 kg per second. Mass flow rate of a cold fluid is 6 kg per second. Specific heat of a hot fluid is 3125 kilojoule per kg. Specific heat of a cold fluid is 4.184 kilojoule per kg. So these are the data is mentioned. This numerical is asked in the movement density examination for 20 marks. Okay. This is the very easy numerical, just to follow the certain steps and to know these some formulas related to the NTU1. So as here they said we need to calculate the outlet temperature of the hot fluid and the cold fluids. Now with this statement we can easily understood that it is not possible to use the LMTD method for calculation of temperatures. Okay, because if we have the Q is equal to the Q is equal to UA delta T LM. Okay, so for that one either I should know the area, surface area is given, I should calculate the value of Q, okay, and the value of U. But here this is a particular numerical we can take, it is to solve and to get the temperature, outlet temperature for the hot and cold fluid for by using the NTU method, because in the LMTD we require the 4 temperatures, or if it is one of the temperature is missing, then it can be possible for calculation. But if the two temperatures are missing, then we use here the NTU method for our calculations. Okay, just remember this part. So we use this one. So let's see how it is. And the pattern, as I said in a last line, it is say a co-current and counter-current flow. So from this graphical representation, we can say this is a co-current. So which having the THI inlet temperature and TCI inlet temperature of the cold fluid. So hot fluid inlet temperature is 500. So this is 500. Cold fluid inlet temperature is 310 Kelvin. So this is 310 Kelvin. Okay. Also they give the mass flow rate of the hot fluid, mass flow rate of the cold fluid, which is we represent MH and C, M C. Specific heat of the fluid, as it is given in kilojoule, we need to convert into the joule. So 3.125 into the 1000, that will be convert into the joule. Similarly for the cold fluid, we convert kilojoule into the joule. Okay, so why we are converting? We are converting just because we want a identical unit. A unit should be same. If it is some other in another form of unit, then we need to convert into the identical unit. Okay, now with this one, say that this is the condition. It means we need to find what is the outlet temperature of a hot fluid. So it is mentioned outer temperature of the hot fluid and the outer temperature of cold fluid. So outlet temperature of the cold fluid. It means these two temperatures we need to calculate. Okay. Now, similarly they ask for a counter current flow. So this is the pattern of co-current. Now, if it is a counter current, then it is like this one. The one fluid is flowing one direction, while the another is the opposite direction. So what is the data with us? We have the inlet temperature of a hot fluid. We have the inlet temperature of the cold fluid, but we need to calculate the outlet temperature of the hot fluid and outlet temperature of the cold fluid. It means we need to calculate this part, we need to calculate this part. Okay. So for this condition, this we call it is a parallel one, and this one we call it is a counter one. Okay, for both the conditions we need to calculate what is these temperatures, this one. So let's see what are the steps here to calculation of it. As I said, first always write the data, see the unit of it. If it is not in identical unit, we need to convert that one. Okay, just like here there is no problem for mass flow rate, no problem for the temperatures, but yes, the specific heat of the hot fluid, which is given in kilojoule, we need to convert into the joule. Similarly for the specific heat of the cold fluid, which is 4.184 kilojoule, convert into the joule or kg. Also, they gave the data of overall heat transfer coefficient, that is U, it is 1000. And also they gave the area, which is surface area, which is 100 meters square. Okay. And here, as I said, find the hot and cold fluid outlet temperature. Okay. So once we write all the data on our book, after that one, what is the next step? Let's see how to calculate this part. Okay. And for that one, we should know the formulas of it. It means if I know the one of the temperature, then I can calculate the another temperature. Just like if I use the formula Q is equal to mCp delta T, that is the formula for the energy balance equation. Q is equal to mCp delta T. So delta T is what? Inlet and outlet temperature of that fluid. So let's for a hot fluid. So THI minus TC, THO, and mass flow rate, specific heat, and Q. So is it possible for me to calculate the Q? Then again, the answer is no. How I can calculate? Because I do not know the one of the temperature which is missing there. Okay. And so here we are approaching like this. Let's for a co-current flow. So we do the calculations for the co-current flow. How we do? Let's see here. So we have this formula. Effectiveness. So with the help of the, as we know that with the help of the effectiveness, I can easily calculate the two temperatures. And for that one, let's see how we can calculate this part. Okay. Now first I try to find the value of effectiveness, because I know that from the effectiveness I can easily get a value of temperature. Okay. But step by step we need to calculate the thing. So first we try to write a formula. So this is the formula that you need to remember. It is 1 minus exponential of minus NTU in bracket 1 plus C bracket complete square bracket upon 1 plus C. Now let's see define what do you mean by C. C stands for what? It is the capacity ratio, and which is what? It is the C minimum by C maximum. Okay. Now again the question is how I can get the value of C minimum. Is it mentioned in the statement? The answer is no. So for that one, again I define what is mean by C minimum, C maximum. So I can just write it is C suffix C, because I have not calculated what is the value of the heat capacity rate. So I just write the heat capacity rate for the cold fluid, which is defined by product of the mass flow rate of the cold fluid into the specific heat of the cold fluid. Also, I write for the heat capacity rate for the hot fluid, which is mHCpH, mass flow rate of the hot fluid, and the specific heat of the hot fluid. So we have this term, it is mentioned. So I can easily find out C suffix C and C suffix H, the heat capacity rate for a hot fluid and cold fluid. Next. Again, in this formula, it is mentioned the NTU value. So let's define NTU. So we can define NTU as UA by C minimum. So I get the C minimum from these two equation, either this one or this one, depend on what is the product that we have. U value is given 1000, area, surface area is given. So just by putting the C minimum, I can get the value of NTU. So if I know the NTU value and if I know the capacity ratio, I just put it here, I get the epsilon, which is called the effectiveness. Now, as per the effectiveness definition, we have this one formula, that effectiveness is equals to the THI minus THO, actual heat transfer upon the maximum possibility of heat transfer. Actual heat transfer upon maximum possibility of heat transfer. So actual heat transfer, say for CH is the minimum. Okay, let's consider the value of CH is the minimum. Then I can write THI minus THO upon THI minus TCO. But if in a reverse case, if the C suffix C is minimum, then I can write here TCO minus TCI. Are you getting my point? TCO minus TCI upon the THI minus TCI. Okay. Another things are same, only the changes and depend on whether this one value is less or this one is less. If it is a cold fluid, then I'm taking the temperature difference of the outlet temperature of the cold fluid minus inlet temperature of the cold fluid, and upon the denominator as it is. Okay, and if the CH value is minimum, the hot fluid heat capacity rate is minimum, then we can use this formula. Okay, so if I know the effectiveness, I have the value of THI, I have the value of TCI, third is unknown to me, I can easily calculate. Okay, similarly, we have this equation, the Q is equal to CH into THI minus THO. Okay, and another equation, that is Q is equal to C suffix C TCO minus TCI. Now these two equations can be used if we consider it is a steady state process. Then I can equate this term with this term and I get a third value 2. So from this one I can get a value of THO if the condition is CH is minimum, and then I just put it the value of here. I can calculate the value of Q. I just put it the value of Q here. The C value, CC's value, I can get the value of TCO. Okay. So let's see how it is. So these are the formulas that you can use here for calculation of a temperature. So one by one, let's see. First, calculate the heat capacity rate for the hot fluid. So it is mass flow rate of a hot fluid into the specific heat of the hot fluid. Okay. So what is the mass flow rate of the hot fluid? It is given the 5 kg per second, and the specific heat is given around 431 something. Okay, so the product, it will give 15625 joule per second. Second thing, so after that one we will do the calculations step by step. Just now you remember the what are the steps here. Okay, second, the product of cold fluid, mass flow rate of the cold fluid in the specific heat. So this is the value that I got. So it is 25,104 joule per second. This is 15,625 joule per second. So from this one, I can easily understood which is the minimum and which is the maximum. So here the C minimum is this one, because the value of 15,000 is less than 25,000, and the C maximum is this one. So since the CH is less than C suffix C, therefore I can consider CH is C minimum and C suffix C is C maximum. So I just define C minimum and C maximum. Okay, so when you take C minimum by C maximum, it will give the value of C. So first, calculate the value of C. So how we calculate? We just take the product of this CH by CC, C minimum by C maximum. So put the value of C minimum, put the value of C maximum. Okay, C minimum from here to here, C maximum, C suffix C value is here. Okay, you get the answer. It is around C is equals to 0.622. After that, once I know the value of C as C minimum, I know the value of C minimum is this one. Also, I can calculate the value of NTU. So put the value of U, which is mentioned already. The data is given of overall heat transfer coefficient 1000, surface area 100 upon C minimum 15,625. Okay, just put it. You get the value of NTU. Now put the value of C here in this equation and value of NTU here. You can get a epsilon value. So that is the effectiveness. It is around 0.616. Okay, the next, why I am calculating this term? Because this one is useful me to get a unknown value of a temperature. Now the effectiveness formula, as per this condition, the CH is less than C minimum, I can use this condition. Effectiveness equals to the THI minus THO upon THI minus TCI. Inlet temperature of the hot fluid minus outlet temperature of the hot fluid. Why I'm taking this one? Because this is the minimum hot fluid heat capacity rate C. It is 15,000. But if the reverse case is happened here, say suppose that we have this value is minimum. So in this case, the formula is changed like this: TCO means outlet temperature of the cold fluid minus inlet temperature of the cold fluid, and the denominator as it is, no change. Okay, but as here the condition is this is the minimum, so I'm taking THI minus THO, the inlet temperature of the hot fluid minus outlet temperature of the hot fluid, upon the inlet temperature of the hot fluid minus outlet temperature of, inlet temperature of the cold fluid. Now the epsilon is this one, THI value is given in the statement. THI is okay here. TCI is also given, so you can calculate THO. Okay, so with the help of this formula, you get a value of THO. Fine. So once you get the value of THO, then what we do? We are equating these terms. How we equate? We can say that this is equals to this one. And now we just have to put the value of THO is here, THI here, CH is mentioned, CC is here, okay? TCO need to calculate and minus TCI is given. So from that one, we can get a value of TCO. So this value you get from effectiveness formula and this value you get from this equation. How we get this equation? This equation get on the basis of this one. We say that at a steady state condition, so this is equals to this one. So THI mentioned already in the statement. THO calculated from this formula. TCI it is mentioned in the statement and TCO to be calculated. And CH value and CC values already we have. Okay. Now this is the first case. Now what happened to the next case? That is a counter current. So it means if it is a co-current flow, then we have these two temperatures. Okay. Just remember this part. Now I just forward for the counter current. Because the next condition they ask, what is the temperature for a counter current? Now definitely the temperatures may be different. Okay, let's see whether it is different or not. So for the counter current formula, for counter current flow, we have this formula. Epsilon equals to the 1 minus exponential of minus e into 1 plus minus c upon 1 minus c into exponential of minus e into 1 minus c. So already we calculate the value of C, we calculated the value of NTU. So just put it these values and see what is the value of epsilon, because again there is no need to do the calculation again. Okay, so we have the effectiveness is around 0.96. So if as in the co-current rather than the co-current, the counter current effectiveness is much more higher. So definitely there will be the chances of changing the temperatures too. So let's see how we can calculate the temperature. Again, the conditions we with us as we have the condition is like this one. CH is less than CC. So I again use this formula. I just put it the value of epsilon 0.96 from the that formula, counter current formula. THI value, TC value already it is mentioned. Find the value of THO. And then once we find the value of THO, then again equating with this formula and just put it the values and you will get a TCO. Okay, it means only the one calculation that we need to do here, it is to find the effectiveness and then the remaining step as it is. So we get a value of TCO, we get the value of THO. Okay, so with the help of the previous formula that with us, and then if you compare for a co-current flow, we have this data that we get, and if it is for the counter current, then we have this one. So you can see here how the differences are there. So you can see that hot fluid outlet temperature is here 382, but now it will be 316. It means it is reduces, means there is a more effectiveness effect, or the rate of heat transfer is more in the counter current flow. Similarly, you can see the cold fluid outlet temperature is here 382, but here you got it is 424. It means definitely if I choose the counter current flow, then there will be the more rate of heat transfer can be happen.